I don't show my emotions, I don't show my emotions. Maybe that's a great thing for some women, right? But most women really want a guy who's actually in tune with their emotions, because really, that's where the true bravery comes from a man's perspective, right? The thing is as well is that like a toxic like masculinity these days with men is being emotionally vulnerable with your other male friends, right? This is a hard one because you have to actually express yourself in an honest way with your friends, but you have to have the right friends in order to express that. See, I'm lucky enough to have found one or two people that are really good with me. Good morning and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Thomas and Tones to the Datework channel. I hope you're all having a smashing morning, and I'm going to get into this nice and quick. Today's topic we're going to talk about is honesty with men. First of all, before I begin, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit that notification link, that little bell. Follow me on Spotify. I'm on Apple Podcasts now. And I've also got a Facebook page called I Am Thomas and Tonus. Please follow it, and there'll be awesome content in there for fitness, for modern dating, and also for just mobility training and movement of the body, and mostly the hip joints for people who are mainly office workers and students alike. Alright guys, now we're going to get into men today. Woo! Sorry for my nose, bit of a cold, but it's all good. Alright. So men versus honesty. This is a good one, right? Now, in the modern world, what we have with the struggle is that men generally don't like to open up to their vulnerabilities, especially with the anxieties of feeling, depression or stress or having real hardship in their lives, right? And this makes them feel isolated and puts them into a spiral of like hopelessness and helplessness, right? And the issue is that we don't have mediums as much for men to actually express these feelings. Now, as we know, back in the days, from our parents' generation to the generation before, to the generation before, to a few generations back, right? We've had this constant issue that's gone about men have to be strong by not showing their feelings. Let me say this again. Men have to be strong by not showing their feelings. So this opens up a whole can of worms, right? You think about it. Women, being the feminine individual in nature, are told to open up to themselves, are told to speak to their friends and open up to their vulnerabilities. The men were not told to do this. They were meant to be the dominant males. They were meant to take their emotions and just put them aside and get through life. Now, while that works temporarily, suppression puts you into a spiral of like helplessness, literally. Because what it does is it puts you into this isolated spot, right? You suppress all your emotions, and then eventually you get to a day where it catches up to you, or you haven't dealt with the issue. For example, if you've gone to war and you've had PTSD, right? While there are so many services out there for individuals with PTSD, individuals that have actually served in the war or have done other things don't necessarily want to go there because it's a sign of weakness for the actual man. But actually it's the opposite. See, we've been educated from our parents, that men have to be strong, and by being strong, it's not just physically strong, it's also mentally strong, but in the sense that you have to not show your emotions because it's seen as weakness. I call fucking bullshit. Guys, we're in the modern era now. All right. And if there's anything that girls love more than anything, is a guy with vulnerabilities. Now, I'm not saying that cry your ass off every 60 seconds, go, oh, poor me, oh, I feel like this, oh. No, there's no bitching and whining constantly, no. But if you're having times of hardships, for valid reasons and for things that you're actually going through, whether that's a passing in the family, or you're in a very financially stressed situation, or something is really affecting you personally in life, you can express that to your fellow peers and to your partner as well, right? Because that shows your partner that you're interconnected with your emotions and you're willing to be vulnerable enough to show them your true self, right? This is very important for being the true humble self you are. If you're always this macho man, look at me, I don't show my emotions, I don't show my emotions. Maybe that's a great thing for some women, right? But most women really want a guy who's actually in tune with their emotions, because really that's where the true bravery comes from a man's perspective, right? The thing is as well is that like a toxic like masculinity these days with men is being emotionally vulnerable with your other male friends, right? This is a hard one because you have to actually express yourself in an honest way with your friends, but you have to have the right friends in order to express that. See, I'm lucky enough to have found one or two people that are really good with my expressing my emotions, and I'm 100% myself all the time. If you think back in the ancient days, right, ancient times, there's basically a story between two individuals, Achilles and Patroclus, I think it was two pretty much Greek individuals, and they basically had a really close friendship that was valued through just the interconnectedness they had in the relationship and just being really good mates. And they showed a lot of vulnerabilities to each other and a lot of affection in that sense, right? In the male sense, right? And this was really back in the ancient times. We're talking, really, really back. And it doesn't change because what it made them do, what happened in that is that it gave them equality between themselves as the strongest friendship you can form, but also created equality with their own partnerships because they were open to expressing themselves with their friends. It made them open to expressing to themselves with their partner because it's what leaded them to that position, right? You think about it, right? Female friends always talk to their female girlfriends about issues, right? Or they talk to their mother, or they talk to their father, right? Most likely their mother, right? Because of the commonality, and also to their friends, right? So they're a lot easier at expressing their emotions up front. Men in general don't have that. We don't have those connections to go to that position. Sorry about that. So what I'm trying to say is that it's really important that as men we try to find something to provide that honesty with each other. It could be something as simple as like if someone loses their job, right? If we get sacked or whatever, we tend to kick ourselves in the foot and go, nah, you gotta suck it up, you gotta deal with your pride and you have to get over it and find another job. Whereas opposed to actually being upset about it for a little bit and then working forward, something that needs to be overcome. Okay. The thing is as well is men obviously don't open up to their feelings as often as they should. Right. And the problem with the honesty thing and where I'm trying to get to with this whole episode is honesty is very important with women, and also it's because there's a high rate of obviously men cheating on women in relationships, right? And that's an honesty perspective. But men, you want your pride, okay? I get it, right? I'm a man as well. But why the fuck do you want pride in something that you're actually lying about? If you're going around cheating on people, right? If you're going around not being true to your emotions to your partner, then you're literally living yourself a lie, or you're living yourself in suppression. Only because you're scared of really showing your emotions. See, this is the thing that gets me, right? Is that there's men out there that go, oh look, I'm a fucking man, I'm an alpha man. I was like, bitch, I don't know shit. See, when I judge people, right, mentally, inside, when I'm actually with somebody, I don't judge them on physically how they look, right? To an extent I do, because I'm a fitness trainer, so I get it. I like nice looking physiques. But I wait and I hold back until I see what they look like internally. See, I have met very few people that are male that express their feelings and their vulnerabilities openly and publicly, right? When I see a guy, personally from a guy, seeing someone that expresses their feelings and honesty in an open sense, and they wear their heart on their sleeve like I do, I'm really admired by that, because that is true strength. See, we're not in the ancient times anymore, people, where we have to fight wars with fucking spears, right? And powder cap guns, so to speak. You know, we're in an era now where this is the modern world. We don't have that anymore. So women need to see men with their vulnerable sides and their more emotional sides, because it shows they're more interconnected with themselves and they've done more of the self-work on themselves. And guys, if you want a woman that's a work in progress, that's going to grow with you, if she sees that you're really in tune with yourself and your emotions and your spiritual self and also your physical self, she's going to admire you to the day you die, honestly, because she can see that you are not egotistic. See, when you tend to suppress your emotions, you become more egotistic because you suppress those feelings and then you lash out in another emotion, which most of the time is anger. I've done it in the past, right? I've had previous relationships where I've lashed out in anger because I haven't expressed myself correctly, right? And that is only because it's a causation of external factors, but also from, my fathers and his fathers and stuff like that. And there's no blaming in that. That's just the way they were raised, right? But I'm now bringing it to the realization for you all to see, right? And this is what I want to be careful about, is that if we as men, we have a duty and responsibility to care for our emotional needs and our vulnerabilities. If we don't, if we suppress these emotions, right, and we isolate ourselves from any help, we're going to lash out in the form of other forms, which is swearing, spitting, or hitting on on other people, or in our partner, which is even worse, right? These aggressive attributes are manifested from oppression and neglection of yourself, as fear of being weak, right? So these are all emotions that bear out, which can show you as someone that's cold-headed, who isolates themselves and goes into hiding, versus someone who becomes hot-headed and gets really aggressive and really narcissistic and pessimistic about everything, right? So this can be really dangerous because you can lash out in anger physically and also sarcastically or verbally to your partner and to people around you. And that's not someone that people want to be around. And you'll lose your friends and your company very quickly. So men, I advise you, please, you want to be a fucking man? Deal with your emotions. Be honest. If you're in a relationship but you actually want to just fuck around and have sex with girls, break it up, right? There is no point in wasting your time and also your partner's time. See, men, you got to understand this. You got to be respectful, right? Yes, women have standards and men have standards too. So it's only fair you be realistic with females you're dating or females you want to be with, right? You want to be in a relationship? Great. Set your intention to be in a relationship. Don't go into a relationship and then fuck some other chick down the street, right? But men won't express that. We won't express that because we're scared of showing our vulnerabilities and our true self, to say, look, I fucked up. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to waste your time. This was my inconvenience for myself, and it was also your inconvenience for you because I don't respect your time and I shouldn't have let you do this, right? Instead, they suppress it and they hide it, and they don't want to show that side, so they just lash out in aggression and go, oh, I'm not really interested in you anymore. Let's move on. This isn't working out. When clearly things are working out because there's actually nothing wrong with the relationship, but they're just having a go because they're using their external, hot-headedness or their cold-headedness to just say it's not working out. Don't be bitches, guys. Don't. Just be honest. Women have a biological clock, right? For children. Let's be straight here, right? Don't waste their time. Don't waste your time. People have shit to do. I got shit to do. I can't waste time on that. If I wanted to just have sex with girls, that'd be my intention, right? But you've got to be honest with yourself, and you've got to be honest with the people around you. You guys want to build deep, strong, long-lasting connections with people, you be honest, you be vulnerable, and you show your emotional self. All right. I don't mean you have to be vulnerable to the point where you have to show every single detail of your emotion. I mean be vulnerable to be humble. So being humble makes you show your true self and not being egotistic. Don't be that macho man who walks around thinking he's fucking 7 foot tall and that he owns the world, right? Because deep down, he's got some insecurities that are holding him back, right? People who are not super successful in life are people who hold back insecurities. They're suppressing something, they're scared of something, there's a fear inside. And that is being honest with yourself and then being honest with the people around you. Don't waste other people's times and don't waste your time. You know, you only got one life. Make the most of it, right? This is what I'm trying to say. But again, I'm going to recap. Men, be honest, because honesty expresses to your partner and everybody else how you're really feeling. It doesn't allow you to become more aggressive in your behavior and then lash out on your future partner and your current or future friends. It helps you build stronger relationships with people because you've got a more deeper interconnectedness as opposed to just here, right? And it just helps with you being more comfortable with your true self and your true emotions and wearing your heart on your sleeve, because that's where true male attributes come into. Somebody who can express their vulnerabilities constantly is somebody personally that I admire heaps as a guy, and women would admire much as a partner. Alright guys, I'm out for today. Before I head off, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that notification link again. I'm also on Spotify, follow me on there, Apple Podcasts, and yeah, that's pretty much it, and also on Instagram. Alright all, thank you very much and have a good one.